Woof.
Okay, this is a short dev blog, but going to be one that we may have a little more to say about. This is the dev blog that came out today, November 24th, and I heard rumors about this earlier, that this was going to happen, and it's now made official in a dev blog. The entitlement, and yes, you're seeing this right, folks. The title of this is Disabling Airship Escort in Random Battles. That is right. Random battles is going to have to do without Airship Escort. And y'all already know my thoughts on this. You've heard me rant about it some when we've been playing randoms, but we'll talk about it some more here. Let's see what Warships has to say about this, or what Wargaming has to say. Based on the constructive feedback provided by the community over the last weeks, we have decided to remove Airship Escort from random battles. Now, I have a couple of comments on that. One is something I take a little issue to, and the other one is where I think they really got the point driven home. But number one, I think there was a lot of feedback that was attempted to be given when they first announced that they were going to put this as a random battle thing. I don't recall seeing hardly any positive comments about that. And this was long before it was ever put into random battles. And I think they just made up their mind they were going to do it, and they did it. It was one of those kind of deals. But all of the people I saw covering, I don't recall seeing anybody, and there could have been, I could have not seen something, but I don't recall seeing any positive, like overly positive comments about that. There may have been some neutral, but most of them were negative, saying this is not a good idea for random battles. I was one of them. And the reason being, and the whole thing that I have maintained from the beginning, is Airship Escort is a lot more ship specific. In other words, if you know you're going into that battle mode, there's only a small subset of ships within the game that you're going to want to take in there, because it's more of a brawling mode. It's not a sniping mode for the most part. So if you're going in there expecting to go into a normal random battle, and all of a sudden this thing pops up and you're in a ship that's total crap for that mode, you're just left having to try and do the best you can. It's not like other modes where you get these little different nuances and you can try to adapt with whatever ship you got. This is a matter of the mode is so highly focused on, close combat and brawling, that if you don't have a ship that's good at that, you're in a weak position. So that's what I've been saying. In any case, so yeah, I do take a little issue with the fact they're saying, number one, that this was provided over the last weeks. No, there's been feedback provided way before they ever introduced it. Now, the other thing is, where I think a lot of the feedback came from, because I was one of them, Wargaming sends these these questionnaires out from time to time. Said, will you fill out this questionnaire about the games? Sure. And they were asking about, what about these things released in this last update? Well, and one of the things released was Airship Escort. I guarantee you, although I didn't rant, I made it pretty clear that was not an enjoyable mode for randoms, and it did not need to be in randoms, and why. And I guarantee you most of the rest of the player base that answered those, random feedback requests, probably the majority of them gave a lot of that same feedback. There wasn't a whole lot good that came about. So I suspect that's what drove a lot of this. But that's speculation zone, as sometimes we say. Now let's see what else they're saying. We expected to see a shift in the random battles meta towards close quarters combat oriented and brawling ships. However, we did not see a significant lasting impact in the results. All right, you had to give me a minute to digest that one, because I don't want to say what first coming off the top of my head. We understand the preference of players wanting to pick ships that are more tailored towards the expected playstyle, and realize the vastly different player experience in comparison to other game modes in its current state. And as a result, we have decided to remove this game mode from random battles. Okay, so that makes sense. This is player feedback that I just talked about. The players are saying, hey, this mode is for a specific meta, and that's not the current meta that we have in randoms. And now I see this statement right here disturbs me to an extent. Basically, how I'm reading this first sentence is they're saying basically, we expected to release Airship Escort in here and suddenly change the meta of the game from what they have, from how they've kind of, what they've kind of screwed it into over the last couple of years. They thought they could release this game mode and just suddenly change the meta. And it didn't happen. Wow. Wow. I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm almost to a loss of words at this. This statement right here, I cannot believe that they have a PR department that would actually let that statement come out in that method. Now, we expected, if they were saying something to the effect of, the hope was that the inclusion of this mode might, increase the play of those style of ships over time. Maybe, but they're saying we expected. So they're saying like they just slapped a Band-Aid on there and thinking that was going to fix a freaking gunshot wound. And that ain't, folks, let me tell you something. I've been an engineer. I've got over 35 years experience in engineering. And the last 12 to 14 years have been in quality engineering, where even before that, I mean, it's all about in manufacturing, figuring out root cause of stuff and trying to do something that looks like they're saying that they're trying to fix the game meta by putting that in there. That's a Band-Aid. If I sent that kind of a corrective action to one of my automotive customers, they would say, you need to do something different. That you're not addressing the root cause of the problem. You're slapping a Band-Aid on it, and we're still going to have the issue. Wow. Okay, yeah, Wargaming, they have a meta that's in place now based on the types of ships that they have been shoving out for the past couple years, with the carriers and the plane spotting and the subs and all this stuff that has made a whole lot of backline camping, the normal, and you don't get to see a lot of pushes. Oh, and by the way, when you are in randoms and you have a team that a bunch of players in ships that are good at it get together and push, your team nobody seems to know what the hell to do with that, because it doesn't happen often. But anyway, I'm ranting too much, but I'm just shocked that they would even make this kind of a damn statement. That's disappointing to me. They could have just left that sentence out and just said, hey, we understand players really think they need to be able to pick ships for this particular mode, and that would have been fine. But they trying to say that we thought we were going to fix basically infer that they were going to fix the meta, or trying to fix the meta of the ships by releasing a game mode that they thought would make everybody want to play that type of ship. Didn't work, and I'm not surprised. Hire a quality engineer. Hire somebody that knows how to do corrective actions and root cause analysis in wargaming, and you'll come up with some fixes to your meta issue. Because one thing is that I'll put a good spin on this. Now that I've had time to digest this a little bit, I think I can put a little bit of a good spin on it. I think one thing that this first sentence does say, they're saying we expected to see a shift in the meta. It shows that I think Warships recognizes that they don't really want the meta where it is right now and would like to change it so that there is more opportunity for, or at least, there's more of that style in the game. I think that's the positive you can take out of here, but going about it like this, no bueno. It ain't happening. Anyway, next, what else do they say? This game mode is still widely popular. It's a great game mode. It's great if it's a standalone or if you get to choose the ships you take into it. It's fantastic. So it will see a return in 2024 as a standalone temporary battles type. Awesome. Excellent. We will update you about this on the DevBlog when we have more information about it. It would be interesting if they could, I don't know how well they could code it though. If they could code the bots right, it would almost be interested to see it as an operation. I don't know. Just saying. Thank you to everyone who provided the feedback that informed this decision. You know what? And thank you to the player base for being honest and giving, because if enough people speak up, this can happen. So now we've just got to get them to listen to some other stuff that the player base has been saying on how to maybe improve the meta over what it is. And I won't go, I'm not a programmer. I don't have all the answers, but I think the first place you start has to do with carrier plane spotting. I don't know the exact answer to that, but it needs to be toned down somehow. Some of the other stuff we can deal with, but playing a DD, and I consider myself a little more of a DD main, playing a DD has become extremely challenging in the current environment because everything has hydro, everything has radar, everything seems like it out-stealths you or can spot you without being spotted in turn. And I'm looking at carriers and subs. So it makes playing a DD difficult. It makes landing torps damn near impossible at times, or at least landing more than one. So yeah, it makes things difficult. That's honestly, that has driven me to shift a lot of my DD play to things that are more gun focused, that are more gunboats, because at least with the gunboats, you get generally a solid amount of damage. With torpedo boats, if you get lucky and get some hits, you get a big game here and there, but most time you don't get much. You get low damage totals. You get 10,000 or 100,000. With a gunboat, you're going to be getting 40, 50, 60, 70,000 all the time. So that's caused me to shift how I play DDs. So anyway, I'm going to step off the rant because I could go on about this way too long for this short little dev blog, but that's it. That's the big news. Goodbye and good riddance to Airship Escort in randoms. Now, yes, please bring it back. It's a fun mode, but do it right. Don't do this. Don't use this to try to fix something else that this can't fix. So, wow. Ugh. Anyway, it's time to play some World of Warships. So let's step off of our rant box and get out there and play some. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see notifications of future videos, just ring the bell. Until next time, Tater Dawg says, woof.